September 15th, 2008. A bank that had survived the Civil War, 2 world wars, and the Great Depression just collapsed overnight. I'm talking about Lehman Brothers. 158 years old, $600 billion in assets, gone in 24 hours. And this wasn't just any bankruptcy. This was the match that nearly burned down the entire global economy. Before we dive in, quick question. What would you do if you woke up one morning and your life savings was gone? Your job? Gone. Your house? About to be taken away. Because that's exactly what happened to millions of people in 2008. And here's the kicker. It was completely avoidable. So buckle up, because I'm about to tell you the story of how the smartest people in the room created the dumbest financial disaster in history. Okay, picture this. It's 2003. The economy is booming. Interest rates are super low, and banks are basically giving away money. And I mean giving it away. You walk into a bank. Hi, I'd like to buy a $500,000 house. Cool, what's your income? $30,000 a year? Perfect, here's your loan. No questions asked. This actually happened. They even had a name for it. Ninja loans. No income, no job, no assets. I'm not making this up. People who couldn't afford a bicycle were buying mansions. And the craziest part? The banks knew these people couldn't pay them back, but they didn't care. Why? Because of what happened next. Here's where it gets spicy. Banks realized, wait, why should we take the risk on these sketchy loans? So they invented something genius and also completely insane. They took thousands of these risky mortgages, you know, the ones they gave to people with no jobs, and they bundled them together like a financial burrito. They called it a mortgage-backed security. Fancy name, right? Then they sliced this burrito into pieces and sold them to investors around the world. Pension funds, insurance companies, other banks, everyone bought in. But wait, you're thinking, wouldn't investors know these were risky? Oh, this is the best part. The credit rating agencies, literally the one job they had was to say, hey, this is risky. They looked at these toxic waste burritos and said, AA rating, safe as houses. Ironic choice of words there, guys. Why did they lie? Because the banks paid them to rate the products. It's like paying your teacher to grade your own test. What could go wrong? So now we've got people who can't afford homes, buying homes, banks giving out loans like candy, Wall Street selling toxic assets to the entire world, and everyone pretending everything is fine. This went on for years. Housing prices kept going up, up, up. Everyone's getting rich. Life is good. Until it wasn't. Around 2006, something obvious happened. People started defaulting on their loans. Shocking, I know. Who could have predicted that someone making $30,000 a year couldn't afford a $500,000 house? One default became 10. 10 became hundreds. Hundreds became thousands. Housing prices started falling. Suddenly, that $500,000 house was worth $300,000. People walked away from their mortgages. Not my problem anymore. And remember those financial burritos Wall Street created? They were everywhere. In your retirement fund, in European banks, in Chinese investment portfolios. The whole world was connected by this one gigantic house of cards. March 2008. Bear Stearns, a major investment bank, collapses. The government has to arrange a fire sale. September 2008. Lehman Brothers goes bankrupt. This was huge. We're talking 158 years of history gone overnight. $600 billion in assets, poof. The stock market crashes. Banks stop lending to anyone. Companies can't make payroll. Regular people can't get car loans or credit cards. The entire financial system freezes like a computer that just tried to run Crisis on Windows 98. Unemployment skyrockets. 8.7 million Americans lose their jobs. Millions lose their homes. Retirement savings evaporate. It's a complete disaster. So what happened next? The government stepped in with the biggest bailout in history. We're talking $700 billion in taxpayer money to save the same banks that caused the problem in the first place. The phrase "too big to fail" entered the dictionary. Basically, these banks are so massive that if they go down, they'll take the entire economy with them. So, we gotta save them. Some people went to jail, right? They caused a global disaster. Nope. Almost nobody went to prison. The banks paid some fines, which sounds nice until you realize they made billions more than they paid in penalties. Meanwhile, regular people, they lost everything. So what's the lesson here? When you combine greed, complexity, and zero accountability, you get disaster. The 2008 crisis wasn't some unpredictable natural disaster. It was humans being greedy and regulators looking the other way. The crazy part? A lot of the same conditions still exist today. Banks are still too big to fail. Wall Street still creates complex financial products most people don't understand. So yeah, that's how houses almost ended the world. Wild, right? If you made it this far, drop a comment. What would you have done differently if you were in charge in 2008? And if you want more stories about how money ruins everything, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and remember, when something seems too good to be true, it probably is. See you next time.